afternoon, everyone. Welcome to GeekHub's 5th Anniversary Seminar. I'll be your moderator for today. I would like to welcome you all to today's seminar. At GeekHub, our mission has always been to empower and transform businesses through innovative solutions. And that's why our topic for today is digital transformation for SMEs. But before we dive into the agenda for today, I'd like to welcome the founder CEO of GeekHub Enterprise Technology, Mr. Shegumi Oteri. Welcome, sir.
Hello, everyone. Good afternoon once again, and thank you very much for being part of this seminar. It's really a great pleasure to have you here today as we celebrate a significant milestone. It's GeekHub's 5th anniversary. It's a moment of reflection, a moment of gratitude, and an exciting vision for the future. Over the past 5 years, GeekHub Enterprise Technologies has been deploying solutions to its customers, and it was born with a very simple but powerful idea, which is to transform businesses through innovative technology. And today we stand here as a testament of the resilience of that dream, a dream of passion for innovation and commitment to excellence. Our journey began a number of years ago, and since then we've embarked on an incredible I would say, of growth, transformation, and each year has been a chapter filled with challenges, triumphs, and lessons learned. What sets GeekHub apart is our unwavering commitment to innovation. We believe that innovation isn't just, a buzzword that everybody hears, oh, innovation, digital transformation. But for us, it's a driving force behind our progress. Consistently innovating and discovering ourselves, from developing cutting-edge solutions to fostering strong relationships with our clients. And I could say that it has been an amazing journey in the past 5 years. Over these years, we have witnessed how technology has evolved. There's been a lot of market shifts and businesses that have adapted to these new emerging technologies. And our ability to navigate this dynamic landscape and adapt our strategies is a testament of our dedication in delivering exceptional service. So I want to thank everyone this afternoon for joining in on this meeting. Like I promise that it's one that's going to provide a lot of insight, a lot of demystification of technology and the term digital transformation, and how you and I can adopt such transformative ideas and solutions in our day-to-day to bring about growth and not just going on a hamster wheel, going around in circles, but challenging the norm and moving forward with progressive innovation. Our proudest moments are stories of transformation that I've said that we've been part of. We've empowered businesses, both large businesses, government agencies, private institutions, and also smaller businesses like SMEs that have adopted our solutions and they've been able to thrive in this digital age. So I would say kudos to the GeekHub team for being able to, stay true to the idea, stay true to the goal. As we celebrate 5 years, we also look forward to a future of excitement. Our journey continues, and we're more determined than ever to push boundaries, forge new collaborations, and drive innovation in every corner of the business world. So thank you very much once again for attending this seminar today. We thought it wise to be able to share knowledge with those businesses, those individuals out there who would want to learn one or two things and do not have that insight. We have here today a number of industry experts in information technology and management who will be sharing insights on various fields and various areas of digital transformation, and more importantly, how we can apply it in our day-to-day. So I want to welcome everybody, and I want to welcome our key speakers this afternoon who will be taking us through a journey of insight. And I can guarantee that at the end of this, we will definitely take one or two things home and we'll be able to start to apply to transform our business landscapes through innovative technologies in the digital transformation landscape. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. Today we have a lot of amazing speakers on ground to talk on the topic digital transformation for SME. We're welcoming our first speaker, Mr. Godwin Michael. He's a business specialist with over 16 years of experience in IT industry. He leads the engineering department of Layer 3 Limited, an indigenous IT infrastructure company. He holds an MBA in business administration and a graduate of computer engineering. You'll be speaking on the topic, understanding digital transformation for SME, defining digital transformation and its significance for SME, exploring the challenges faced by SMEs in adapting technology, and the key definition of digital transformation for SME. Welcome, Mr. Godwin Michael. The floor is yours.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to this beautiful session today. I'll probably just, let me just quickly just put up my and just jump into the conversation. But this is a topic I think I also do find interesting, considering the buzzwords around intelligence, the applications of IT technologies, of course, for growth, for profitability, quite does actually, drive or, the initiatives around. Okay, I think you need to give me some my screen. Daisy, I think you need to share my screen. Okay, great. Are you able to see my screen?
Yes, I can see your screen. For anyone that has any issue, you can raise your hand or leave a message in the chat box. Thank you. But I can see your screen.
Okay, awesome. Okay, so like the host actually earlier introduced, our digital transformation, of course, for SMEs can unleash growth in their businesses by adapting technology. But first and foremost, I would like to congratulate GeekHub, the MD, its entire teaming staff on their 5th anniversary. Congratulations, and wish you many, many, many more successes in your choice of endeavor. So what exactly are we going to be talking about? Understanding the basics. What is even digital transformation? These are buzzwords, that we get to hear about all the time, but do we really understand how these tie up to our businesses? What relevance, what value does it bring to the table? So want to look at digital transformation, its basic understanding, look at the significance, and then look at some of the benefits that digital transformation can bring to the business. And then, of course, as beautiful as all the advantages that digital transformation, can bring to our business, there are also challenges. Of course, so we'll touch a bit on some of these challenges and probably some proposed solutions and things we can do, to also enhance or help us overcome these challenges and be able to establish value from the implementation. So when we say digital transformation, what exactly are we talking about? In its simplest terms, we're saying you just want to reinvent the way your business, your company works. So the word digital and transformation and all of that are just big buzzwords, but in its simplest terms, we're just saying, how do you reinvent the way you are currently running your operations, the way you are currently running your business? And so you can look at it as a shift from the paper-based processes to digital applications. And what's the idea? What's the essence? Why that shift? It brings about customer experience, enhanced customer experience. Remember that whatever we do at a business, most times the end goal is to satisfy our customers, is to solve a problem. So all you're trying to do is to move away from the traditional paper-based processes to the application of digital technologies. So if you look at all of this, it's simply talking about technological upgrades and automation. You want to automate some of your process, you want to apply technology in the way you run your processes. So it's also talking about cultural changes within the organization. So when we're talking about digital, it is not anything vague. It is the same thing we're familiar with, things we're used to doing in our operations day to day. The file moves from point A to point B. However, in this case, we're saying that we want to replace those traditional ways of our operations with digital enablers. So if you look at some of these things, if you're carrying out this transformation, these are some of the drivers really. Because the question is, why do you want to move away from the traditional way of doing things to technology-based or driven systems? It said about 55% are driven by evolving customer behavior and preferences. So if you look at it, the customers are on a daily, change in terms of value. These guys are asking for more every day. So about 55% of these needs are one of the things that brings about the need for organizations to consider this shift. 53% of them are based on growth opportunities in the new market. So there are certain things that if you continue to do them the way you are doing them now, you will no longer be competitive in the market in the shortest possible time. 49% of such are being driven by competitive pressure. So there are people, your other business partners and competitors who are beginning to do things in a certain manner. As such, is either you adapt, you innovate, or you die. Our 42% from this study also said new standards, regulatory compliance. These things are some of the factors, some of the ideologies that puts pressure on companies and organizations, to begin to consider the need to implement digital transformation in their businesses. So we've talked about transformation being driven by the need in, just the goal of trying to satisfy your customer. However, when we're talking about this transformation, you can also look beyond just the customer. You can also look at transformation for increased productivity. You can look at it for efficiency, the time it takes for you to process a job order. Because of the current manual process you're doing it, how do you increase your profitability? Because the number of bottlenecks or the manual tasks that you need to do sometimes costs you more. And so how can you improve some of these processes in order to drive productivity, efficiency, and profitability with your organization? These are some things also that can encourage organizations to consider transformation, not just because of the customers. So you can tailor a digital transformation to your business needs by identifying the areas of improvement. So if you look at the word, I highlighted the word tailor, which means when it comes to digital transformation, technology abounds. There are a lot of them, like the snapshot I have, you can see augmented reality, Internet of Things, artificial intelligence, virtual reality, cloud, 3D, drones, big data, just name it. All of these are technology, that are beginning to help businesses to become more efficient. But then when you want to transform, does it mean you need to now acquire all of these tools? Not at all. So it has to be tailored, which means you need to look inward. What area of your business? Is it the process? Is it, if you look at it, for instance, adoption of something like a CRM tool can change a lot for you in an organization, from the paper-based manual way of doing things to a more centralized application that different stakeholders can have simultaneous access. So it's quicker, it's faster, and the benefits are just endless. What's the significance really? Study shows that when you implement transformation digitally to some aspect of your business based on what you've tailored, it brings about increased customer traffic by over 23% or 23 times really what you're doing. It enhances your customer engagement by 40%. It can also help you to achieve organizational goals by 22%. So if you look at these studies, it's showing and it's giving us data to show how significant this transformation is to organizations when adopted. So if an organization goes on to now begin to consider the adoption of technology, to implement and all of that, what possible benefits really? Database insight. What do we mean by that? Tools and technology applications are available that will help you to make sense out of the number of data you are generating. In data analytics, for instance, when you apply those tools into your data, which could be maybe the inquiries that are being made into your business, you might be able to get insight to actually, maybe in terms of demography, which area of the city or of the customers are demanding for more, and what kind of services, what kind of products. That kind of insight, that data will help you in terms of making strategic decisions that are more focused on what gives your customer better value. Without such insights, you probably be investing in areas that are probably not significant. They probably, if you look at an 80-20 rule, they might be the least of the customer base of your business that generates most of the value or the revenue you generate as a business. So, but when you deliver or deploy tools and applications that can give you such insights, it puts this in a more pictorial way, and for management decision making, such benefits are enormous. Encourages skill development, of course, because there's new technology, there are new ways of doing things now in the organization. It means probably the skill level, the skill set you have in your team is not enough to manage the team going forward. As such, you may have to train, and this is something that employees always will value and appreciate in an organization. Departmental collaborations, just like we're having this session right now. Back in a couple of years ago, for you to have these kind of sessions, you have to physically, move to a location. You look at the convenience, the cost of that, transport, all of that would build into the overhead of the organization. However, with applications like Zoom now, you can have this kind of session, this kind of collaboration that we're having. Even within the teams, if you have distributed teams, unlike before, the people at the different offices hardly get to know each other, hardly see each other, except you have to fly or move from one location to another. But with the implementation of collaborative tools like the Microsoft Teams, the Zooms, the Google, and all of those things, you can have this kind of sessions. You can schedule meetings with your colleagues. You can have video calls and engage better. Profitability, faster time to market. These are things that the deployment of tools like this would definitely encourage. Of course, customer experience, which is at the tip of our entire goals. As beautiful as all of this sounds, challenges, of course, exist. For you to deploy digital technologies, applications, I just picked a couple of, some key challenges here, where we talked about lack of change management strategy. So most times these things fail because when organizations want to deploy, they just buy, they just acquire, without really having a strategy, clear set goals on how to move from point A, which is their current way of doing things, and then moving into B. So there has to be proper engagement. There has to be a clear roadmap on how to move from one to the other. Technology and software use is complicated. A lot of people feel that sometimes when you're deploying solutions, these solutions are things that they are probably not skilled to use them. They feel that technology or applications are difficult to use. And so that's why you need to look at these things carefully, in as much as the buzz is all out there and people are interested in, having all of this. You see that it's that need to ensure that you are not just deploying a software that probably it's not user-friendly. So other challenges like boosting the use of new tools, and processes. Right now in your organization, you have your flow chart in terms of how the processes works. It means if you want to, if you want to implement solutions that will now take over some of these processes, you need to have a proper synergy between the end users in terms of how the process is currently working, and then how you're going to translate that process into the application. Different tools work for different organizations performing the same functions. As such, because A had acquired a tool does not mean that tool will work for your organization. So it's important to factor this concept and these things into your decision-making processes. Otherwise, it will continue to increase the challenges that, that affects the effective implementation of digital technology. Of course, the customers are not left out. Whatever changes we're trying to make, whatever transformation process we're trying to go, of course, the idea is to enhance our customer engagement, enhance customer satisfaction, which means we need to keep understanding the customer needs. And like we mentioned earlier, customer needs changes per time. And so because this need changes rapidly, it means we need to also be careful in selecting whatever transformation agenda that we want to implement per time to ensure that these things will align and help to make the life of the customer better. Here in Layer 3, there's something we call customer touch points. So for us, it's not just about you have delivered the service. However, the entire process starts from inquiry point. So every point of engagement with the resources, with the team, with your staff, is a customer touch point that needs to be given critical attention. So if you're deploying a tool, an application that would help you improve a process, fast track a process, you need to factor in this point, which means at different touch points, it's a different experience. At different touch points, you may require a different application or technology to deliver the kind of result you want to see. And these results are part of the things that will now form your strategy. And then culture mindset. We have a problem with people wanting to adapt. Change, they say, is the only thing that is constant. So the team, the organization needs to work on that, because the culture mindset is also a major inhibitor to this transformation. In an organization where people are used to doing things in a particular way, and then now you want to introduce a change, of course, you may face resistance. They may not. So culture mindset is another major challenge that organizations face when they want, and that's why sometimes you can implement a particular, innovation, and you're thinking that this is it. Somebody has used it, it's working for them, and then just moving into my environment, I expect by default to also begin to reap the values in that same line. However, you haven't factored in things like the culture. The organizational culture is important. And so you need to factor that into your decision-making process. And so having mentioned this, how then do you deal with some of these challenges? You need to invest in a platform for digital adoption. A lot of the times, organizations see IT tools as cost center. They hardly see these things as business enablers. They hardly see these things as things that can actually bring about competitiveness for them, bringing value, because it is not direct naira and kobo. But as technology people, we also need to start working out ways of tying the values we offer to organizations in naira and kobo, because that's what the decision-making guy, the shareholder, the management team, that's what they're interested in, the naira and kobo. So when you are looking at investing in a platform, you should be looking at how do you present the benefits in terms of naira and kobo, really, because while the guy is doing the manual process, he isn't thinking of the loss of revenue in any way. However, when you now digitize that process, the value it brings in terms of efficiency, in terms of the naira and kobo. Assemble a change management team. Because of resistance, culture change, because it's something new, change management is key. And so you need to, within the organization, set up such change management team, committee, whatever you want to call it, and have identified key stakeholders to be part of that team so they can drive the framework for such changes. By the time you're able to factor in carrying your team along your change management, it becomes a lot easier to deploy and actually reap values from technology changes. Engage the services of digital transformation consultants. That's something also businesses are not willing to do. They look at these things as just cost center, like a GeekHub. These are organizations you can contact and to help you look at your business and advise on how best and what is best suitable for the challenge. Sometimes actually as a business owner, say an SME, if IT is not your core, why are you spending so much time on trying to manage IT services? You don't need to hire IT guys to be physically on ground because it's not your core. Things like that, you can outsource. Outsourcing such would totally take away the burden and the worries. All you need is, You just need the service to work and then help you focus on the core of your business. Of course, we talked about you need to foster a culture of innovation. So you need to create that buzz, HR needs to get involved, how to reward, for things like that, where people would begin to see the benefit of contributing innovative ideas to the organizations. You create a forum where the organization allows anybody within the organization, within the team, to own up their innovation or ideas that could help the organization. But in situations whereby it has to be maybe just the manager or the head that can, then in that kind of environment, you see that people will just keep to the ideas because they know somebody else will take the glory, somebody else will take the reward, but when you create a culture of innovation that encourages things like that, it's a way to easily get the buy-in of the team when there is a need to adapt. Have a digital strategy. It's important for you to have a digital strategy if you must overcome some of these challenges. So that way it's defined. I can go on and give you instances, live scenarios in terms of connectivity, in terms of security, cloud adoption. Just go on and you can just name it. Why spend so much time building a data center? Because you need to have your servers hosting an application or something. And then you have to worry about the cooling, the power to ensure, availability 24/7 for that service. That's a whole lot for a business that is not focused on IT. So in that kind of situation, actually, really, all you need to do is to outsource that component. A cloud server, and then on that, you can get all that you need in terms of security, access, bandwidth, and that's it. And your application is running, all 365 days through the year. And of course, that takes away the burden of you worrying about power, cooling, maintenance, resource to manage servers, and all of that. So when you have digital strategies on your business, especially for SMEs, where you can begin to consider what we call the managed service options of technology, things like that would, of course, enhance your business profitability in terms of efficiency as well, and how proactive your team can be per time. Like one of the solutions we have here requires a lot of payment. And the guys in the finance team will have to worry about how to track those payments, how to do the daily reports. It was a lot of work. But the deployment of a simple billing system took care of that problem. And then we integrated that with a payment gateway, and that was it. So with that, you can make your payments online. And then in terms of the reporting, in terms of matching the service versus payment and all of that, is automated. The guys just generate reports and they have everything already. So these are all areas where we can actually infuse technology into our businesses to drive productivity. And I would like just to make a final remark before we probably get into the conversation and engagement. Digital transformation challenges are complex to handle. So it's important that we hear a lot around the buzzword digital innovation. It's important for organizations to understand that the challenges that come with it are complex to handle. As such, people, processes, and technology must move hand in hand for you to achieve success. Make informed technology investments as it will help deliver real value, both to the organization and your customers. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Godwin Michaels, for enlightening us on the understanding of digital transformation. We'll be calling on our next speaker. He's a seasoned IT expert with over 12 years of IT experience. Leveraging on his wealth of experience, he leads GeekHub, which has implemented progressive solutions that have transformed business landscape of countless businesses and public sectors. He is certified in core IT management competency like ITIL, project management, Six Sigma, Agile, and others. Due to his exceptional leadership, GeekHub has grown to be one of Nigeria's leading tech solutions. And he is why GeekHub is celebrating 5 years of existence and business impact. Please join me as I welcome the founder CEO of GeekHub Enterprise, Mr. Shegumi Oteri, who will be speaking on implementing digital solutions for SME. Welcome, Mr. Shegumi.
Thank you very much for the introduction. Thank you very much, Mr. Godwin. Your insights have been very, very valuable. And I must say, it's very heuristic and it's end to end. I really don't have anything much to even, because everything I was going to say, you've already covered it. However, I'll just be, adding a few points here and there to just give an additional insight on digital transformation and how it applies, and not just applies, also how SMEs can benefit from digital transformation. Well said that the idea of the word digital transformation and tech in general is mystified and is one big thing that is not attainable or is not reachable by common business owners, only the big guys, big industries. But that is wrong. That is why with companies like GeekHub and Layer 3, we bring it closer to the community, we bring it closer to the individuals to be able to understand that technology, digital transformation, technology, innovation, and automation are not left for big corporations alone. As little as a one-man business can adopt transformative solutions that will put him in the lead and actually grow that business to something that is going to be very well sought after. And that is why it's important for digital transformation to be demystified, to allow people to understand it better and also be able to adopt in their business life cycle. Over the past years we've been in business, we have identified with customers, especially small scale, medium scale customers, that they have an understanding, they have the idea of technology, they have the idea of, okay, there's tech, but they do not understand how it is going to be applied in their businesses, how tech can transform the landscape of businesses where they are. Now, for me, it's usually very interesting when this question comes about, because we know exactly from an experience standpoint and from a place of being on the same, once being in the same shoes as them, being able to know the steps to be taken to get out of that mindset and be progressive in your thinking in terms of innovation and how it can be applied in your business. So I'll just be sharing real quick a slide to give us a picture of what this looks like for SMEs. Now, the pillars of digital transformation, we could categorize them in this four pretty simple stages and places. Now, for the 4 pillars are engagement of customers, optimize operations, transform your products, and empower employees. Now, every facet of business activity has to do with one of these pillars. From engaging customers, which gives you
GeekHub on the 5th-year anniversary. This shows that we're actually doing something right to remain in this space for this half a decade celebration. So congratulations to you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Welcome, sir. So I'll just delve into this, and I'd like every one of us that would have questions for each session I'll be speaking on. Please, you may want to put down your questions, and at the end of the session, I'll be, more than happy to respond to them. Okay, so I'm talking about digital transformation in HR for SMEs, and we're talking about optimizing workforce performance. Now, the first speaker and also the second speaker talked about, reinventing the way your business works, your processes. How do you do things? How do you handle things? And he talked about the organization at large. Now, HR department is not left out. The HR department is meant to do what? Move together with the organization. Now, the first speaker also mentioned about, or rather the second speaker also mentioned about, performance appraisals and the rest using, automation of, appraisals and performance, staff performances. Yes, this is correct. And this means that we are also trying to do what? Make employees comfortable in the work environment. We also want them to enjoy their stay with the organization. And just as we're trying to also make the external customer happy or make the external customer know that we're also moving with the latest trend as it has to do with digitization of processes. We also want to get the internal customer, who are the employees, for them to make the process easy and a seamless one for them. Now, I know you'll be wondering, what's the HR's role in digital transformation for SMEs? Okay, so I'll be taking them one after the other, and I'll be going with the first one, which is talent acquisition and development. Now, it's the role of the HR to assess the existing skill sets within the organization and identify areas where digital skills are lacking. Not until COVID happened, most organizations refused to accept the fact that people can actually work from wherever they were, okay? And it had to do with, okay, you have to come into the office to sign in. If we're gonna hire people, we need to have them come into the office, or rather the organization, our location, to drop job applications, and we'll have to sift through and all. So all these things were actually how things were being handled in the past until, COVID happened. Then organizations started thinking, oh, we can actually have these things done from their locations and also have these employees monitored to know if they're actually delivering on their tasks and the rest. And how were we able to do this? These were actually done through coming up with CRM, some kind of CRM work tools to ensure that employees are actually doing what they are expected to do and also meeting up with the timeline. Now, to be able to, for us to be able to achieve this at the time, we had to ensure that some employees had, or rather all employees had the existing skill sets within the organization and what's this skill set? We're talking about digital skills. So where digital skills were actually lacking, HR had to identify these gaps, and ensure that these people are trained well to be able to use these work tools to deliver maximally. Now, still on the talent acquisition and development, we're talking about recruit digitally. Okay, so if you're able to recruit digitally proficient talent, HR recruits employees with the digital skills and expertise needed to, drive digital transformation. So we're talking about digital transformation. If the team, your team that you're meant to be working with are not trained, they're not upskilled in this area, you see, you find out that you still have a lot of work to do, and you might, even in the process, lose resources, financial resources, and more than you were actually going to do if you had invested in training your employees. So for change management, what HR does here is to act as a change agent by helping employees adapt to new digital tools and workflow. Now, coming back to the time of COVID-19, where a whole lot of organizations had to, implement the work from home. Some employees didn't know, how to go about it. And what we talk about, where there is a change in an organization and you find out that people are still having difficulty adapting to the new thing, to the new normal, to the new ways of doing things. HR's role here was to do what? Help them to transition into this new way of doing things. The HR had to keep letting employees know the need, the importance of these transformation, this digital transformation that we're going into, okay? And also, the HR team is meant to communicate and train these employees on these changes, and also ensure that employees don't have difficulty transitioning into this new way of doing things. For example, as we're talking, using technology. Okay, so we want to also take out the fact that when an organization wants to select these solutions, technology solutions for the organizations to use, especially in the HR department, it's not something the HR does on their own. It's something they need to do what? Work with the IT unit. That is where they have an IT unit. That way they're able to select, integrate cost-effective digital solutions that align with the organization's goals. Very important. So you won't say because organization A is having their own technology solutions this way, and my organization or our organization should do the same thing. Well, you could do the same thing if your organization and that organization has the same goals you're trying to achieve. So you have to check first to know what works for our organization, what's our culture, what are we trying to achieve. Just then you are able to outline these and do what? Work with the IT team to be able to select these technology solutions that you feel would help and aid the organization from the HR perspective. Okay, so it's also important to note that the data-driven decision-making is also part of HR's responsibility here. And HR is expected to utilize data collected to identify trends and insights that can inform digital transformation strategy. So it's not something that the organization or some department does on their own. No, it has to be a collaboration of different departments, different stakeholders to outline their goals. What are we trying to achieve here? And how will these technology aid us to achieve these goals and also solve these problems? So, talking about employee engagement and retention, the HR department is also meant to consider how digital transformation impacts the work-life balance of employees and implement measures to support well-being. Okay, so this could be achieved through encouraging them to download some kind of applications. Okay, I was speaking with someone and she made mention that she has an application on her phone that shows when she's overly stressed, it will start beeping, letting her know that she's overly stressed and she needs to take a break. Okay, so the job of the HR department here is also to do what? Encourage employees to have these downloaded on their phones, and this requires an Android phone or any other phone that could achieve that purpose, so that you're able to monitor them and tell them, please, it's time to go. So we're talking about, we're having a conversation around work-life balance. And someone made mention that in their organization, that once it's time to close, the system automatically logs you out. So that means that the organization expects you to put in value, putting your time working there during your work time. Say you're meant to resume from 9 a.m. and work till 5 p.m. So within that 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., the organization expects you to put in quality time, working, delivering on your task. And that's not a time to come out to gist and the rest. Permit me to use that word. Have stories to tell with your colleagues. I'm not saying that shouldn't happen, but you should also work on being productive, or employees should also work on being productive. Now, organizations stepping in maybe from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. or 4 p.m. Websites that will not make them productive during the day. Closing time, what happens? The internet logs everyone off. So whatever you were on working hours, you may have to continue the next day, or maybe if you have a laptop at home you want to work with, that's fine. But this is actually a way of using technology, okay, to help improve on employees' well-being. So we're also talking about recognition and awards. Employees are also meant to be actively rewarded for contributing to the success of digital initiatives, motivating others to engage. So at the time, this organization I worked with had to start working from home. A whole lot of employees fought it. They said, not to worry, I will risk it, I'll come to the office. What was the issue? They had difficulty adapting to this new way of doing things. Now, how did we handle it? We had to bring in recognition and rewards. We had a team working and checking from the back end of the application in use, the CRM in use, where these employees are meant to be logging on, to signing. I'm working from home, so I've logged on to sign in, and these are the things I'm doing. Then once they're done working, they do what? Impute these information, what they've worked on, using the CRM in use, okay? And we have this team members that were at the back end picking the names of people that actually used the CRM, the names of people that actually worked using the CRM and all. So what did we do? We rewarded them. At the end of each month, they were given incentives. So that way we were able to motivate them to keep using the CRM, and also it also motivated others to want to join. That way they were able to learn. So what other role does the HR have to play in digital transformation? So we're talking about performance management, setting digital KPIs. So this means that we need to, first of all, define key performance indicators related to digital transformation to track progress and identify areas for improvement, okay? And that means that this needs to be populated for each employee into the system or the solution, approved solution in use for the organization. So that way we're able to reduce subjective appraisals and monitoring. Now, we're talking about performance reviews. This means that we need to incorporate digital competencies and contributions into employee performance reviews. Now, in terms of vendor selections and partnerships, The HR department also plays a major role here because they are the ones to say, this is what we're trying to achieve in the HR department. We want to know the number of people from each department coming to work late. We want to know the number of people that do not, clocking properly or checking using the application. And this depends on the kind of solution that the organization is using. So at the end of this selection and identifying strategic partners, the HR unit is also meant to, get feedbacks from internal customers. So that way they're establishing mechanisms for employees to provide feedback on digital tools and processes. And this allows for continuous improvement. Now, we wouldn't say that there are no challenges. Of course, when you're looking to get a technology solution, that means there's actually a challenge present, which the organization is trying to solve, and that is based on their goals. The goal could be that we want to increase learning in our organization. It could be we want to reduce late coming. It could mean we want to monitor how employees work. How do they make use of their time, their productive times? Okay. So it's important to also know that small and medium-sized enterprises often face several unique challenges when it comes to managing and optimizing workforce performance. So what are these challenges? And I'll just mention a few. The first one is competing priorities. So SMEs often have a juggle multiple priorities, such as sales. We want to make sales. We want to make our customers happy. And yes, product development, so this can divert attention and resources away from workforce performance management initiative. That is where one of the challenges. So the next one would be lack of expertise. SMEs lack dedicated HR personnel. So if they're able to get a HR personnel, it could be that this HR personnel is not skilled or competent in performance management and optimization. And this could result in ad hoc or inconsistent approaches to employee development. And the next one here is a limited training budget. And these organizations may struggle to allocate funds to employee training and development programs, and this can hinder skill growth and limit employees' ability to perform at their best. And the next challenge there would be inadequate technology, of course. So many SMEs rely on outdated or manual HR systems trying to get things done. And that way, the person working in the HR department or the HR team is burdened with a whole lot of things to do. And before you know it, they get burnt out and won't be able to deliver maximally or deliver quality job of what they've been asked to do. So this can hinder informed decision-making. And the next one is performance measurement difficulty. And it's important to note that without the right tools and resources, organizations, especially SMEs, may struggle to establish clear and measurable performance metrics. And this can result in subjective or inconsistent evaluation. Yes, so I mentioned this earlier. And we're also talking about work-life balance. I made mention just in my previous slide where you have people that want to work and stay in the office till late in the night and all. So what did this organization do? They devised the means to help the employees have a good work-life balance. So as soon as it's time for them to close, the application locks them out, locks them off their system, and they're unable to do anything till the next working day. So that would be just one under the work-life balance. And we're also talking about adapting to change. So SMEs may find it difficult to adapt to changing market conditions, technologies, or industry trends, which impacts the ability to optimize workforce performance for evolving needs. So these actually makes employees not to perform up to par or even deliver as required. Now, this is where the organization needs to do what? Check and see, okay, how do we improve on how we work? Aside wanting to meet up with the latest trends, of course, we also want employees, we also want our employees to give us their best. Of course, we're paying them. And an employee is telling you, this manual way of doing things, we want to improve on that. And you hear some SMEs tell you, we don't have that money. We don't have that kind of funds, to buy or get a technology to use. But the good news is that there are applications or technology solutions that are tailor-made for organizations. So what are we talking about here? You go ahead to pick the features you think that your organization would need, the features that would help your organizations grow. And IT companies like GeekHub can actually help you achieve this. You let them know this is what we're looking to achieve. This is a problem we're trying to solve. They step into it and have this work for you at a minimal cost. You mustn't break a bank to be able to get these IT solutions, software solutions to work for your organizations. Now, talking about affordable technology solutions, organizations can harness affordable technology solutions, including cloud-based HR management software. And most of these software are either free or low-cost digital tools. And this actually streamlines processes and enhances talent management effectively. Let's look at some of these practical strategies to leverage on. You can use centralized data management. We're talking about using of cloud-based HR software to centralize employee data, including payroll information, attendance records, and performance evaluation. So this simplifies data access and ensures data accuracy. So from wherever the HR is, or even wherever the employee is, or the new hire is, things could be done and streamline the process from wherever they are. And I'll give you an example. So let's say your organization is trying to hire someone, and they've gone through the recruitment process and it's time to hire. Before now, you could have the organization inviting the employee to come in for documentation. But these days, documentation could be done online. You create login access for this new employee. They even log in, get to know about the organization, watch some videos in preparation for the final onboarding. Now, moving over to getting applicants. With these softwares, you're able to utilize what we call the applicant tracking system. It's called the ATS. And we're talking about applicant tracking systems like, I'll give you an example. We have Indeed.com, we have Amfani HR, we have My Salary. So they streamline the recruitment process. So everything the HR would want to do is actually on the application. You find out that when someone applies for a job, it creates a profile for them. If anyone here has used Indeed or maybe another ATS, you find out that you're meant to create a login for yourself. That login access is meant for just for you. And anytime there is job vacancy announcement, they send you this job vacancy announcement to check. Then you apply. Now, the HR can go to the back end, that's the admin view, to be able to even see how many applications this applicant has put in the past days, and also check the status. That way, you're also able to reject. It's automated. The system sends an email, automated email to the person, letting them know they've been hired, that they're moving on to the next recruitment stage, or rather selection stage, or that they're out of the process, maybe because they didn't meet the requirements and all. So these tools can help you post job listings, screen candidates, and manage interview schedules effectively. So we're talking about automating payroll processing. It will also help you implement payroll software such as QuickBooks, and run to automate payroll calculations, tax filing, compliance reporting. And this automation, what they do is reduce errors and also save the HR department time. Then another very important point here is implementing learning management system. So some organizations will tell you, oh, we don't have the money, we don't have the money to send people for trainings, for them to travel, go for training, the cost of traveling, the cost of accommodation, and the rest. You find out that some HR organizations will say, all right, so how about we move this digitally online? We could have this training on Zoom. We can have this training on Skype, even on Teams. You have a whole lot of tools that does this for you. Then for the LMS, what it does for you is to do what? You have these trainings pre-recorded and uploaded on this software, on this application, and employees can have access, and also their, their progress is actually being monitored from the back end by the HR team. So I can go on and on, letting you know affordable technology solutions and the features that can be used. But because of time, I would like to also let you know that there are case studies, and I would like to share some of these case studies with you. So where you have employees coming in to sign in before, manually registering their presence in the organization. So some organizations moved from that to clocking. So for clocking, you have to come into the office to do that. You put in your term, anyone you use in registering, and it's captured and also says the time you checked into the office. This could be pulled from the back end. But here is another one. These technologies keeps improving. And as these technologies are improving, organizations are taking advantage of these technologies to also, maximize employee performance, maximize punctuality at work, and the rest. Now, they have a new one where an employee can check in with their mobile phone. So there is no need to even use the clocking machine to be able to have access. And this means that a HR department in a different branch can sit in their office and monitor what is happening in every other branch. Every other branch they have, maybe in the east, in the west, say they're in the headquarters, maybe a place like Abuja. They can sit here and monitor what is happening any other place. And people may ask, what if they check in from a different location? Of course, these applications are also built to also know where these employees checked in from. So you see, these things, these are in the IT industry, they keep improving, and organizations are encouraged to move with these trends, okay? And the truth is that these technologies are not so expensive. They're not something you need to break the bank to be able to get, so long as they have features that addresses the needs that your organizations have and also the goals that you want to achieve. Why not? it's an opportunity to jump in. That way, all your employees are now in tune digitally. They can do things digitally. That way, everyone learns and they grow as individuals and also grow as an organization. Thank you. So if you have questions, please, you can send them in so we could respond to them.
Thank you very much, Ms. Ijoma. Please do not forget, if you have any questions, you can drop it in the chat box or you could jot them down. And when we're done, we have a section for question and answer. So without wasting much time, we go to our final speaker, Mr. Ayodeji Ibitoye. Mr. Ayo, aka also known as the Fixer, is a digital marketing and social media expert and has transformed the social media landscape of over 400 businesses. He will be speaking on navigating the digital landscape, exploring the role of social media and online marketing for SMEs, strategies for creating a strong online presence and engaging customers, leveraging data-driven insights to make informed business decisions. Welcome, Mr. Ayo. Floor is yours.
Thank you very much. I really enjoyed this last session and also the very first one. It's quite insightful. All right, my name is Ayodeji Ibitoye, popularly called Mr. Fixer, and I am the CEO of Fixer Hub Limited, an MSMH digitals here in the United Kingdom. So today, I'm going to be covering about 3 different things, and I'm going to make them very, very short. The first one is exploring the role of social media and online marketing for SMEs in digital landscape. Before I start, I would love to say this. My method or my mode of teaching, it's a little bit traditional. I don't like to be too formal or too serious. So I'm going to be using real life instances of brands in my presentation. All right, so when we are talking about social media, we all know that social media is everywhere now. Even our parents are beginning to use social media. You see some of them on Facebook, or mostly on Facebook. Some of them are on Instagram, TikTok, experimenting different things. Now, we are not focusing on them. What we want to focus on SMEs, both big brands, medium brands, or the small brands that we have out there. Now, as a business owner in, let's say, Nigeria landscape, I'm going to focus on Nigeria landscape right now. As a business owner in Nigeria, it is important for each person to take advantage of what we have going on right now, which is this whole rave, this massive explosion of social media. And before I go ahead, I'm going to mention some social media platforms that I think businesses, SMEs can take advantage of. We have places like LinkedIn, we have Facebook, we have Instagram, we have Twitter. I don't want to mention Threads because we still don't understand what they are trying to do or what they are trying to, or what the future holds. So let me just focus on what we have going. So without further ado, let me go right into it. So how can social media and online marketing help SMEs? How can we take advantage of it? All right, the first thing that I'm going to talk about is, it can help us to amplify our brand visibility. Gone are the days when you want to start a business, you're thinking, okay, I need to first go look for a location to get a store. After getting a store, I want to probably set it up or renovate it. In this time and age, someone can wake up right now and say to themselves, or to him or herself, I am going to start a business now, pick up a phone, set up an account on Instagram, on Facebook, on Twitter, and go ahead and set up a website within a week or two and just proceed, launch, talk, do their thing. And before you know it, they start getting traction, probably from family and friends first. And within a matter of time, they are out there selling and checking, okay, how can we optimize this brand and all? So it is important as a business owner that we take advantage of this whole thing that we have going on. I don't want to talk too much about that. And the second thing I'm talking about is building brand authority. How can a brand or how can a business owner build brand authority? They're quite simple. The first thing they need to understand is they need to give out valuable content, because the whole essence of social media is sharing. Now, as a brand, you need to, what kind of valuable content can you share for your audience to stick with you, grow your audience, and also increase your revenue at the end of the day? Is you can categorize your content into 3 different areas. Content that shows credibility, or let me say, that shows you as an authority in your field. So let's say, for example, an accounting firm, if an accounting firm decides to take advantage of social media, they need to, from time to time, give value in form of content, let people understand different things, different different keywords, what some things, things about accounting that we don't understand, maybe other business owner, why it is important for you to have accounting softwares, why it is important for you to do your accounting properly, mistakes you might be making in your craft or in your business regarding money. So all of these things, they are inside, or they are packed inside value sharing to give you that authority as a brand. Then they also need to share relatable content. What I mean by relatable content is content that can get people talking, that can influence people to communicate. Sometimes some people bring it in form of debate, some people bring it in form of question, and some people just decide to, for example, go live and interact with their audience. Now, about that, the third thing I'm going to mention here is engaging with your audience. It is quite unfortunate that in Nigeria of today, most brands don't engage with their audience. I don't know why that is happening, and I think I do. Don't let me say I don't. The problem that we see here is most brands, or let me say most SMEs.
Mr. Fixer, you know everything. So let us learn from you. You know.
All right.
So let us get.
So most SMEs, I can't remember his name. Please, I really need to know his name so that I won't just be referring to him as Mr. Godwin. Mr. Godwin mentioned something earlier where he said, if you are not an expert in something, you should hire someone that can do it for you. That it will save you a lot of time and money in the long run. And because of this, do you know that many times, so many SMEs, they do this the wrong way? If you hire a social media, for example, to help your brand, to help your business, the problem is most of the social media managers we have out there, they are not even qualified to be social media managers. The fact that you've taken a free Google Garage course, or you've taken a free HubSpot course on Google, does not guarantee you as a social media manager. There are a lot of things that it takes to be a good social media manager. So when you hire a social media manager, the person just makes your page attractive, and that's all. They do your page 2-3 times in a day, and you feel like, oh, I am not growing. All you're seeing is the number. I mean, the number of content they've been able to share for you, your product pictures, your information about your brand, and some few content. So when it comes to interacting on social media, it goes beyond just posting, painting page, or arranging something like block you lay on the ground. No, social media, it is as real as life itself. I usually say this. Social media is just like a real physical business you can see, because for every value you put, for every time you try and invest something in it, you see the results immediately. It is just science. Some people, for example, if you post frequently and you post strategically, within a space of 2 to 5 days, you will definitely notice that improvement. Because if you go through your insights, it can tell you, okay, for the last 30 days, from 30 days till today, 14th of September, this is what has been happening on your account. This is what has been happening on your profile. Then if you invest for the next 5 days to 2 weeks, again, properly doing all the necessary things you're supposed to do, you realize that you can also see the improvement in terms of reach, in terms of exposure, in terms of inquiries, in terms of followers, in terms of everything. So it is important for business owners and SMEs generally to interact with their audience. How can they do this? Once in a while, or not, probably every time. If you have customers already, it is crucial that your customers will definitely give you feedback sometimes. When they don't, you have the advantage to ask them for it because of the avenue of social media, because you know how they come to you, you know how they interact with you, you know where to find them, and you can always go back to that channel and say, oh, XYZ, we provided this for you a few days ago or a few months back. We'd like to get your feedback. We'd like to understand, okay, how well have we done? Or do you like our performance, this and that? Let me leave that and move to the next thing. So how can social media and online marketing be useful for SMEs? And the fourth one I'm talking about is market research. It is quite unfortunate that a lot of us, we don't carry out market research before we choose the platform we want to work on as a brand or SME. A lot of us, we just say, I want to start a business. Let me go and open Instagram accounts. I believe probably we can relate to this. Let me go start, open a social media account. But it is important that you sit down, do your market research, and ask yourself, what channel is good for me or is best for me? So there's some brands that being on social media, on Instagram is not the first thing they should sign up for. I would rather, okay, because of like our company, MSMH, we are not on Instagram yet, but we are already in business and we are doing very fine. What we did was we leveraged majorly on LinkedIn because we realized that that is where we want our customers. There's something we call life cycle of each customer you get. If you as a brand, you get a customer, you need to consider, okay, what is going to be the lifespan of this customer I'm getting? Will it be a one-time thing? Will it be a continuous relationship? And one thing I've discovered is there is too many distractions on Instagram. So if you are on Instagram looking for a cost or looking for your customers, and when you get one, at the face of how can I put it? The face of inquiry, discussion, negotiation, guess what? Every day that passes by, you get at least 50 to 100 more people like yourself that potential customers get to see. So before you realize it, you have about 20 prospective clients talking to you, but you've not even closed a single deal. So when you do your research very well, it helps you to realize, okay, I think this is where we need to focus our attention to. For some brands, Instagram happens to be, this is our place to show what is going on in our company. Why for some brand, Instagram is, this is where we get customers. So to conclude on market research, let me leave that for now. So number 5 is target advertising. Social media can actually help SMEs when it comes to getting clients, building the reputation and what have you, because there is cost-effective marketing on social media. Take, for example, if you take advantage of Facebook ads. Facebook ads compared to pay-per-click is like heaven to earth. Because where you're having a budget of £1,000 for Facebook ads, you'll be looking at a budget of £5,000 for pay-per-click, PPC. Because the results you can get with Facebook ads, it is so minute. I mean in cost per your spend. You can run an ad as cheap as 50 kobo per click, but that is not possible with pay-per-click. So you can take advantage of social media to make sure that you build your brand by getting awareness out there, getting customers from what have you. And the sixth thing I want to talk about is cost-effective marketing. I think I mentioned it a little bit in the last point, which is social media has given us the avenue to grow to any size we wish to as a business owner or as business owners. Because let's take a look at traditional way of doing marketing. Let's say you want to advertise on television, you want to advertise on radio, you want to advertise using billboards, and whatever traditional method that we have. It is quite expensive. I think currently in Abuja, to use a good digital billboard costs about, I think, around 12 to 24 million naira. Yeah, if I'm very correct. Whereas with that budget, that can be like a whole year budget for some company when it comes to digital marketing, when it comes to social media, I mean. That can be a whole year advertising budget. Something that you're going to just pay a company in Abuja and say, for 30 days or for 90 days, we are paying 24 million to advertise using on this billboard. So social media, we can take advantage of it with the whole advantage of cost-effective marketing to push our business out there, whether we're a small or very, very minute brand, or we are growing, or we are a small brand. Number 7, expanding global reach. I can't overemphasize on this. Social media has helped a whole lot of small businesses to ensure that where they didn't believe they would be now, they've passed it. Because you see someone, let's say, let me use a bespoke tailoring brand as an example, a bespoke brand that makes very lovely suit, like the suit Soje is wearing right now. Such brand can advertise to the US, and someone in the US will be like, I love this suit. This model is my exact figure. I think I would like to get this suit. Now, asking for the price, maybe the price goes for as low as £200 or so, yeah, let's say £200. And the person knows for sure that, wow, for me to get this quality right here, I am going to be spending between £1,000 to £1,500 for the same suit. What happens? That person is going to try the brand out. When they deliver and the person loves what he has gotten, naturally, the person will become an unpaid marketer for the brand, for such brand. So the social media has really helped a lot of us, even myself inclusive. I remember when I started about 3 years ago, I got a client outside Nigeria, and the person was like, oh, you're really good. This is that. I was like, oh, thank you very much, ma'am. And she introduced me to her sister, and her sister introduced me to other people. Before I know it, I've been able to get about 5 different international clients out there. So social media has provided that no boundary thing, or it has removed the restriction of this is my space, I'm only in Lagos, it's only Lagosians that get to know me. And number 8, social media can also help us to elevate our customer service. In the past, if someone should come into your establishment, maybe you don't like the way you were received by the front desk officer, you may not know how to communicate that or know the right person to communicate your displeasure to. But with the presence of social media, you can just go into someone's DM and communicate, oh, I am not happy with XYZ service. I am not happy with this product. I am not happy with the result of my job. And quickly, you can see to it, attend to it, even use it to your advantage to let people see how you resolve issues in your business. That way, there's some people that has been observing you strategically or codedly, that we have their questions being answered due to this process. Now, that being said, I want to quickly talk about strategies for creating strong online presence and engaging customers. What do we mean by strategies? Strategy simply means, okay, what are the methods? What are the things we put in place to make sure we are able to achieve X, Y, Z? Now, for SMEs to be able to achieve good results in their brand or their business, what are the strategies that they can adopt or put in place? First thing I'm talking about is, before any strategy can be put out there, we need to define what our brand is all about, which I call brand identity. A lot of SMEs out there, they don't even know who they are. If A should come, they will serve A. If B should come, they will serve B. I call it stomach infrastructure because that is totally wrong. Totally wrong. As an SME, you ought to know your brand identity. This is who we are. This is our mission. This is our vision. This is our objectives. These are the kind of people we serve. I remember back about 2 years ago, I got a lot of backlashes, if I can say that, because a lot of people used to be like, oh, Mr. Fixer is proud. Why? Because when you come to us and you say, oh, I'm interested in working with you, the first question I ask is, can you tell me the nature of your business? The moment you mention the nature of your business, we don't work with makeup artists. We don't work with anybody doing or selling pharmaceutical brands. We don't work with sport betting brands. So the moment you mention any of those things, we'll say, oh, we're very sorry. We cannot serve you because we are not expert in that area or such areas. But a lot of people get offended when you say or you tell them that. But that has really helped us to grow so wide, so wide, because we know for sure who we are trying to target. We know for sure who we don't want to target. We understand our identity. We know what we want to do. And mission, setting a mission for your brand is not just about writing something down. Your mission should be it should be like your core value, what we continue to drive you. So when you understand your mission, you know your vision, you know what you want to do, it is going to help your brand to understand its values. And those values will be what will push you to keep growing from time to time. The second thing I want to talk about is you need to develop a user-friendly website. Our website is not just to make us look professional. I feel like so many SMEs don't even know this. They just think a website is like another social media. Just have it. They say once you have a website, people will take you more seriously. Yes, that is true in a way, but your website is actually like the non-visible shop that you have. Your website is where we can quickly know you in summary. Your website is where our life becomes easy without stressing you. Yes, there's this thing about people saying Nigerians don't like using website, Nigerians don't like shopping on website, but that is not true. That is not true. It boils down to something we mentioned earlier about brand identity. If you know your brand identity and you've set things in place, I have some people in Nigeria that I used to check them out that they don't take orders via DM. You can't discuss business with them via DM because you're not planning to discuss a business of 100 million naira with someone inside the DM. First, you want to understand, do they have a website? When you go on their website, it must be user-friendly. Make sure it is easy for them to navigate. You don't want a website that the texts are too tiny or the texts are too big, that when we want to read a simple sentence, we have to keep shifting our phone to the left or to the right. You want to make sure that everything is just perfect. Make sure that it is mobile friendly, because its research said or showed that 63% of people that visit websites use their mobile phone to visit such websites. So make sure that it is mobile friendly. When people check out your website, make sure that it is easy for them to navigate. You don't want to have so many pop-ups on your screen. So keep it simple, keep it clean, keep it engaging, and make sure that it is easy to discover stuff. For example, your contact information. If you have a button that people can book a meeting with you, make sure that it is easy to navigate. People can actually make the booking easily without you sending them all about or to another platform. Make sure that your website, people can do everything within that website from A to Z. You don't want to redirect people to somewhere else, because that can actually distract whoever is doing something on your website. Number 3 thing that we can use as strategies to improve our online presence is content marketing. Content is king. Content is very, very important. Your content is what shows who you are, how you do your stuff, and how good you are. When your content is bad, even if you are very good at what you do, trust me, you realize that a lot of people will not look at your direction. Content is valuable and good. And by giving good content, make sure that your content is clear, your content is king. I see a lot, clean. I see a lot of people that when they are making content, they just do it anyhow. Some people even just freestyle it as if it's an hobby or something. That is actually not a good thing. I usually tell people this: imagine yourself as the client you're trying to attract. So I have a popular saying: you cannot be open to attract $1 million client when you look like $10. Look at the way Soja is dressed now. I am very sure you can take even a video call with Obama the way you are, because you're looking clean, you're looking good. But just imagine you're wearing a jersey, your hair is unkempt, and you have a comb by the side, and you're about to go on a Zoom, on a video call with a client that is open to give you a job of about $10 million. You agree with me that such clients will not be so comfortable the moment he gets to see you. So it is important to look good. You know, the way I usually say this, that the difference between real life business transaction is so, the difference between real life transaction and online transaction is so minute. They look so closely related, because you need to understand that when I enter into your office and I notice that you have, for example, imagine having a wooden bench in your office right now. A wooden bench, it sends the wrong, no matter how beautiful the bench is, except it's a customized wooden bench, it sends the wrong message, the wrong signal to whoever gets to see that office space. So you need to make sure that your online presence on your social media, and it starts from your branding. Your color must be the same. Your font must be the same. Your communication style must be the same. If you choose to be a little bit pushy and edgy as a brand, don't go soft at the middle of it. You know why? Because there are people, whatever image you put on as a brand, whatever identity you put on as a brand, you are attracting people based on that image and identity. So if you're the fierceful type of brand, like me, I have this fierceful, pushy strategy for my brand, and it is very, very good for me. Some people can be a little bit calm, and some, which even though I don't advise it, they can be a little, I don't know the right word, but they get to, as if they are pleading with people to work with them. They plead with people to, patronize them. No. So with my style, if I all of a sudden turn to people that says, if I do not eat from morning to night, if you do not buy from me, I will not eat from morning to night. People will be like, hold up, what is wrong? Are you sure Mr. Fixer's account has not been hacked? Because that is not my style. So you need to keep up with whatever thing you've built for your brand. That, okay, the brand color, the brand font, the communication style, even the way you deal with your customers, whether phone call, inquiries, you need to keep it the same way. Now, let me move to number 4, which is social media engagement. One of the best strategies any brand, be it small, big, extremely large, can adopt is communication. If you engage well with your audience, you need to understand, and there are two brands that I love so much, two different companies in Nigeria that I love that they do this. PiggyVest, they are very good when it comes to interacting and engaging with their audience, and UBA. If you are able to carry your brand, your followers, your audience, your customers, your potential customers, when you engage very well with them, you realize that within a short period of time, you're going to grow. And there's this strategy which I usually adopt now, about 4 or 5 months ago. If someone is talking to me, maybe during a discovery session or just via DM, and the person should ask a pertinent question, I will make sure that I take that question to my people. And the reason is, I ask myself, if one person gets to ask me this question, do I know how many people are thinking about the same thing? And guess what I noticed? Every time I do this, within the next 24 hours, I'm going to get at least 2 other people that will come from that particular post and say, oh, Mr. Fixer, I think that you're talking to me about this. I think I also have this issue. I think I have this problem. How can you help me? And imagine if you do that 5 times in a week or 10 times in a month, and 5 of them or 50% of those things get to convert. That is more growth and money for your brand. So it is important that you engage with your audience, have a good social media engagement. Also, while on this social media engagement, you need to choose the right platform for yourself. We know that some platforms are more engaging than the others. If you are on LinkedIn, for example, engagement isn't that cool on LinkedIn the way it is on either Facebook or Instagram. So you need to understand that, okay, what am I going to do when it comes to my engagement? Which platform do I want to choose? I have this rule that I have set that can help SMEs when it comes to social media engagement. Pick 3 different platforms and assign different responsibilities for the 3 of them. For example, you can say my Instagram is going to be for showcasing what has been going on behind the scene. My LinkedIn is going to be for value sharing, that is value dominance, where people get to see my expertise. And Facebook is going to be the platform for interaction and engagement. When you are able to do this, one thing I've discovered is Facebook for engagement is really, really good, because you're not telling people to bring money to pay you for something. Naturally, when people see you as an authority, they see you as a solution. So that is why people that are not salesy, but they are an authority, they even get more booked than people that have been salesy, because people hate to be sold to. People don't like when you sell to them. People don't like it. But when you are being strategic, you are intelligent, you are able to give value, you are able to push things, you are able to answer silent questions in people's heart and mind. They see you as an authority and they feel like, I think this is the best person for me to go to regarding this problem. I think this is the person that can serve me. And that is why I take advantage of that strategy, making sure that I give value 80% of the time, and I talk about my brand 20% of the time. So, and the next strategy that I want to talk about is email marketing. It is important for any small business owner or medium business owner to take advantage of email marketing. Build your email list. And how can you do this easily? the best and the easiest form is to give something for free. No matter what kind of brand you have, whether you are a cake artist or you're a cake, you are a confectionist, or you are a you're a blogger, or whatever thing you do, make sure you find something, package it, something of value, package it, and give it out for free. When you're giving something for free, people are more inclined to give you what you're asking for. When you are giving something for free, so I'm giving you something of value for free, I need just your name or just your email and full name. When you get that, you can easily build 2,000 emails. You can easily build 10,000 emails. Currently, I have about 70,000 emails. So when you have that, now when you are trying to push stuff, maybe you are doing sales, or you're about to launch a new collection, or you're about to offer something to business owners for Christmas period, or maybe you want to offer SEO service, or you want to render website service, you want to build website for people, and you're like, oh, take advantage of our 20% due to Christmas offer, and you send it out to 20,000 people all at once. Even let's be a realist, if just 1% of them should convert, 1% of 20,000 people, that is a lot of numbers. That's a lot of projects in your hand. You would most likely give each schedule for each person that, oh, your job will be ready in 2 months, yours will be ready in 6 months, because you will now be overbooked. That being said, number 6 is SEO. SEO stands for search engine optimization. It is important that you optimize your website. Make sure that your website is well optimized. Make sure that your keywords, you incorporate keywords on your website, so that to increase the searchability and discover and make it easy for people to discover you or your brand. If your SEO game is not tight as a business owner, you just realize that you are just there pushing. Almost every week, I audit at least 2 to 5 websites every week. And one thing I see too many times is people just build websites and they don't optimize it for SEO. Recently, I checked a website, and this is a brand that is really doing well here in the UK, but I checked their website, and the website scored about 43% out of 100. So it is important to make sure that your SEO game is tight. You may not be able to do it yourself, but you can always look for good SEO experts around you that are good. Or if you have someone in mind, approach them and say, oh, I would like to consult with you. Pay for audit first, so that you don't over-invest, because you don't know what is happening in the back end of your website. So SEO is one of the best things you can invest in as an SME. If you invest in SEO, you get the result out of whatever investment you put. And the last one I'm going to talk about, because of time, is pay-per-click. That is running professional campaign ads on Google or YouTube or your app or anything you want to push out there. When new people don't get to see your brand every day, you are dying. I usually say this. You are dying. There is no, I'm just there in business. You are either increasing or you are decreasing. So taking advantage of PPC will really help your brand to stand strong, because they know you. Every day they get to identify you as a business owner. People will first look through your brand or your profile on social media, and when they see it, they can quickly make an informed decision based on 1, 2, 3 content they've seen on your page or activities, and be like, oh, I think this is someone I want to pay attention to. Let me watch this person within the next 2 weeks and see if they are good for us. Let me watch this brand, whether we can buy from them. Let us watch this brand and see whether we can partner with them. So it is important that you invest in PPC, paid per click marketing, for your brand. So last topic I want to take, I'm just going to read them out so that I don't waste so much time, is leveraging data-driven insight for SMEs. Will you believe it that there are some business owners that they are actually doing good, but they don't have any data. They don't even know what is happening. They just know that we are selling. God is good to us. And I'm going to use a particular brand. Now, I'm not going to mention the brand's name. I'm going to use a particular business as an example. There is this madam that I've never worked with her before, but she approached me about 3 months ago, and she was like, oh, we've lost our page, our Instagram page. And someone said, I should come and meet you. And I asked her a few questions. After answering, I said, madam, you cannot get your page back. Why? Because she sells branded bags. She sells branded bags, branded bags knockoffs. I said, you are not going to get your page back. And she was like, I've lost everything. I said, madam, don't you have your customer's record? She said, we talked to them via DM. I was silent for a few seconds because I don't even know what to say next. I said, you're supposed to have your customer's record. So you mean when someone approach you or your brand and make an inquiry, you don't have a way to get their information? She said, no. What about people that has paid? At least you must have written the information down. Say, once they pay, they will just round up all the others and dispatch. I said, that is wrong. That is wrong. As a business owner, you need to leverage data-driven, insights. You need to have your record, proper records. And it's quite easy. Just have Excel on your computer, name it, label it the right way. As you're getting all your, your record, list them out. If you're able to get, let's say, for example, taking advantage of email marketing, we mentioned all the time that you should build your email list. As you're building your list, be saving your, the data somewhere. Also, you can also segment through data-driven insights, because if you get, let's say, out of your 20,000 emails, you are able to get 1,300 conversions. You know for sure that those people are now more inclined towards your brand, because those are the people that are ready to make a move, or they've already made the move. So you capture the 1,300 emails, you segment it separately and say, these people, they purchase from me. And we know something as business owners. The moment someone patronizes us, we know for sure that they are no longer a warm audience. They are now a hot, we call them hot, we categorize them as hot customers, because they have already taken this step. They've escaped that funnel. They're out of the funnel. We now build a good relationship. So when you have something like that, it is important that you collect relevant data. When people make inquiries from you, they're actually good data, because I am not going to make an inquiry from you if I don't need you. Even if I see something, let me use as an example. If I am a fashion brand and someone gets to see a lovely gown, she's not interested in buying the gown, but because the gown is really lovely, she's talking to me about the gown. Oh, I love this gown. I love this dress. How much is it? She may not be ready to buy from me, but that shows that at least she makes informed decision about gowns or about dresses online. So she's actually a good data. Categorized as warm audience. These are people that have seen my product, that have seen my business, but they've not made the move to patronize me. When people buy from you, you need to have their data. Also, how can you take advantage of collecting relevant data? For example, if you look at your social media, when you put up a post this morning, that post has reached about 7,000 people. But on a normal day, your post usually reaches 600 people. You need to pay attention to two things: the time I put up this post and the kind of post I have put up. So if you look at the time you put up a post and you're like, oh, so I put up this post 7 a.m. this morning and it gathered 7,000 people before 2 p.m. That time is special. So when tomorrow, try something else by 7 a.m., see the results you get out of it. So let's say tomorrow you've tried it and you've gotten 3,400 people compared to your usual 700 engagement. That means the time is crucial. So the type of post that gave you 7,000 reach or view or what have you, come up with something similar and push it again and look at the performance again. This can always help us because the most social media platforms now, or let me say all of them, they've given us this insight thing that you can use and see, okay, what is going on with my brand? What is going on with my business? About a year ago, my manager noticed something and she brought it forward that, oh, sir, for the last 30 days, we've been getting this service. We've been getting jobs from this service, but we've not gotten more than 2 for this particular service. And we had, because we've closed down that department, we had about 12 staffs for that department alone, which means for that month, we are going to pay 12 people for just 2 jobs that came, which does not make sense to us. Data helped us to figure out that, okay, based on our record, we discovered these are the people that are bringing jobs and they are not bringing this type of job. So what did we do? We focused our attention on talking more about that other service. So in a business that you run multiple products or multiple services, data will help you, data will help you or guide you to understand, okay, this particular service is slacking. This particular product is staying too long. We need to find a way to push this more, because these things, they happen by accident sometimes. You just realize that you are putting your energy on a particular thing, maybe because the result has been really awesome. So you keep pushing. Before you know it, you realize that another product or another service is lacking behind. The second thing is you need to organize and clean your data. I think I already mentioned that as a part of the first thing, which I talked about. When people make inquiry from you, you need to understand that that's a good data. When people buy from you, you also need to understand that's a good data. Even when you are running ads, let me say this, when you're running paid advert, people that get to just like that particular advert is a data, because you don't like what you don't like. I hope I'm not confusing you with that double word. So you don't like what you don't like. You only like something you like. So if you like this thing, that means probably you enjoyed the video, you enjoyed looking at the advert, but maybe you are not ready to take action, to talk to me, to make an inquiry, or to even make a purchase. So you need to learn how to collect data. Number 3 thing is set clear business objectives. When you set good business objectives for yourself, for your brand, it is going to really help. You can know that if you're starting a business from point A, the first thing you are interested in is awareness. You need as many people as possible to be aware that you exist, that you do this, you do this, you do this. At some point, you can say, okay, for the first 90 days, we're going to focus our attention on awareness. Guess what? From the awareness phase, you're still going to get people that will patronize from you. You'll get people that will sign up, that will come on board. And let's say the next 3 months, after the first 3 months, can be focused on sales. Our objective for the next 3 months is going to be sales. So what do? You come up with your strategies to make sure that you are inclined towards sales. And the 4th thing I want to mention is use the right tool and analytics software. There are both free tools, there are paid tools. For example of some free tools are business suite, Facebook business suite. It's a free tool that you can use for your analysis, for your data, to know, okay, what are the things that needs to be done. Another tool that is available that you can take advantage of is you can use your Instagram Insight. Your Instagram Insight on each post will tell you the number of people that get to see the post, the number of views, the number of likes, the number of comments, the number of shares. So if you have a post that the share is about 200, and this is you that you hardly get 3 shares, that post that has gotten 300 shares, you want to make sure that you incorporate more of that style. So the 5th one, and which happens to be the last one, is analyzing and visualizing data. And how do you do this as an SME? Is you take advantage of data analytics. A good tool you can use, which is also free, is Google Analytics, GA4. So if you can take advantage of things like this, you can actually learn it yourself. There are free resources on the internet that you can use to learn this thing. As I am now, I know all the part of the world people get to visit my website. The other day, we noticed we are getting so many traction from India. I had to stop it. We got a lot of backlinks from India. We blocked it because we don't want people from India to see us so much, because we know that they are not our target audience. If you take advantage of Google Analytics, you get to know how people are buying, how much they are buying, how much of your sales is coming from the United States, how much of your sales is coming from Nigeria, how much of your sales is coming from Canada, and what have you. So it is important that we take advantage of all these things and our social media to better our brand, to improve our brand, to make sure that things are well structured and we don't lack anything. The summary I'm going to leave us with today is this. As a business owner, social media has given us limitless power. The reason why many don't take advantage of this power is because we don't have adequate information. AI, for example, has provided us with so many information that if you can just dedicate 2 hours during your spare time, let's say you rest on Sundays, if you can just dedicate 2 hours once in a week for your business to research and come up with strategies and come up with your week plan, you will realize a huge difference where you are right now and where you'll be in the next 30 days. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ayo, for that impactful and educational lecture. So moving on, we are on the question and answer session. So if you have questions, you already wrote down or already dropped on the chat box, this is the time to ask your questions. So from the chat box, I got a question from Mr. Otsiri directing to Ms. Ijoma. He asked, is outsourcing HR process advisable following a clear understanding of the company's architecture? Ms. Ijoma, that question is for you.
Okay, thank you. Right, so outsourcing HR is something organizations do, okay? And before they do that, they check first of all and be sure that it's not something that could be handled in-house. Some organizations don't even want to have a HR department. They just want to outsource it to a HR consulting firm to handle it. And for obvious reasons, because they want everything to be handled professionally, no biases, and be able to handle the performance management that will also help the employees perform better and in turn help the organization to grow. So yes, some organizations may decide to do that, while some may decide to have one HR person in-house and then outsource subsequent roles to HR consulting firms to handle.
Thank you very much, Ms. Ijoma. I hope your question was answered, Mr. Otsiri.
Let me quickly add to what Ijoma has mentioned about outsourcing HR. I'll take, for example, a situation where there is a new recruitment exercise that is supposed to, an activity that's supposed to be undergone by an HR department for an organization. Where there is a clear understanding of the company's architecture, as the question said, that means the goal is clear. So based on a clear goal, adopting certain processes that would reduce overheads for the company would actually go for HR outsourcing, and also employ tools, transformative and automative tools that would also help reduce overhead. Now, when we hear the word outsourcing, there are two parameters or two reasons why outsourcing might happen. Number one, for technical expertise, for the purpose of technical expertise. to outsource that particular process or activity to experts in that field. The second reason would be to reduce the cost and overhead of such an activity, especially when it's a recurring activity or a recurring process or a recurring thing. So these are the two different ways why outsourcing come into play. And based on the question, outsourcing HR processes when there is a clear understanding of the company structure is quite key. And what even makes it interesting is when there are transformative tools, digital tools that help automate this process or these processes. Where there are automative tools, you find that efficiency has increased exponentially, sometimes 30, 40, 50%. Where such outsourcing companies or organizations introduce automation tools to the body. Now, when automative tools are introduced, it takes over processing and usually allows for limited use of human beings. For example, as Ujoma had said in a session, where you have applications like Indeed, and all these applications that collect data in terms of CVs, process them, email addresses, and automatically does filtering based on keywords and gives the process owner, which is the company hiring, a list of viable candidates. And now all they need to do is select who they want and process them for interview. So you see the entire manual process of reading or each person's CV and everything has been reduced with such automation and digital processes. So just to add to what she says, yes, this helps cut down on overheads, increases efficiency, and provides value. Provides data for analytics to be able to make key decisions in whatever process that is to be carried out. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir, for shedding more light on that question. Please, I'd like to ask the House if any other person has a question for our speakers.
I think we can time. If there are any questions, you can always drop the chat box. Also, leave the email address so that you can always send in your questions or inquiries, even after this seminar.
All right. In the absence of any question for now, would call on welcome the CEO of GeekHub Enterprise to talk on GeekHub's expert insight, guiding SMEs through digital transformation. We'll be talking on how GeekHub supports SMEs on digital transformation journey, highlighting specific services and solutions offered by GeekHub, tips and recommendations for SMEs looking to embark on digital transformation. Welcome, Mr. Alteri.
Thank you very much for this. As I think this is going to be the last session before we call this seminar to an end. But I'm really excited at this time to share with you these insights. But before then, I want to thank all our speakers for giving very, very deep insights on how digital transformation processes can help our businesses to grow. I really appreciate your insights, and I'm sure that we all have learned one or two things that we can actually go and implement in our daily operations and daily progress activities. Now I'm happy to share insights on and expertise on how we GeekHub as a company, how we guide small businesses, medium businesses, and even large organizations through their digital transformation journey. Over the past years, about 5-6 years now, we've witnessed numerous success stories of businesses embracing technology to revolutionize their operations and drive growth. Now, this happens firstly not because they understand what needs to be done, but because they have indicated an interest, or they've indicated interest on wanting to move forward, on wanting to see their businesses have a new face or have a facelift. And we've been lucky and privileged to support businesses in these activities. Let me reiterate our commitment that at GeekHub, we firmly believe that businesses are the backbone of our economy, and their success is paramount. Our mission has always been to empower businesses with the right digital tools and strategies to help them thrive in the digital age. There is no doubt that 2022, even 2023 has brought about a paradigm shift on how the digital space is being optimized, is being used. And we're happy that part of our goal is to ensure that we empower these businesses with the right digital tools and strategies to help them thrive. Part of what we do in supporting SMEs in their digital transformation journey, well, it's actually multifaceted. We understand that each business is unique, and our approach actually is tailored to suit a business's specific needs, and provide solutions based on what they need and not just what we think is good. Just as Ayo, the fixer, initially says that some people will take out, they don't have a goal in mind, and they take anything that comes, and at the end of the day, there's no they don't achieve as much success as they ought to. So it's very important that strategic planning comes into play. So we, as a company, we work closely with businesses to identify their goals and create a customized roadmap to ensure that technology investments align with their long-term objectives. Now, this is part of what we do as a company. Now, when this is understood, we integrate technologies. Our team of experts assist businesses in selecting and implementing, the most suitable digital solutions, whether it's e-commerce platforms, process automation, productivity, data analytics tools. We provide such end-to-end support. Other aspects that we're able to help in our SME journey is training and empowerment. Digital transformation involves a learning curve, as rightly said by all our speakers here. It involves comprehensive training to equip SMEs. Now, digital literacy. Now, when we deploy solutions, sometimes we actually take them through the process of teaching them how to use these solutions, how to use these new products that we deploy, and how to get the best out of it. So training, we don't just leave them, we also ensure that there is an experience in terms of being able to grasp the fundamentals of these tools that are actually given or deployed in their business landscape. Now, there are a range of services and solutions that we offer. We design solutions that address unique challenges faced by our clients and businesses like yours. For example, websites and software solutions. Our web software experts create tailored solutions that enhance online presence, that's your website, streamline operations, that is your automation tools. For e-commerce, we have a whole lot of businesses who are into selling products and services. And depending on your niche and the type of business or service you offer, we develop immersive online platforms that drive sales and provide valuable insights. So it's not just about sales, but just as Ayo had said, it's about providing data and insights to help you make decisions as you move ahead in your progress journey. And another key thing and key service we provide is IT consultation. Now, our consultants align technology with business goals. As I said from the very beginning, that some businesses understand that the idea of technology, but do not know how it's going to be applied in their own business. So we come in and align the technology to your business goals, ensuring utilization and optimal return on investments. So of course, we have some tips and recommendations we want to give to our SMEs and you here today. For businesses embarking on a digital transformation journey, there are some tips that could help and help you on your day-to-day. And before you know anything, at the end of it, you see that your process has been optimized, than how it used to be. Now, number one, you allocate your resources strategically. Focus on solutions that will have the most significant impact on your operations and growth. And another key area which I feel is very important is embracing change. Most businesses don't embrace change. They always just go with the status quo. They're lazy and they like to stay in their comfort zone, and they don't like to explore new frontiers and new opportunities that lay out there. It doesn't matter if you don't understand the concept. For example, AI. Now, if artificial intelligence is taking over now, and many businesses don't understand the concept and how to apply it, but that you need to embrace that change and to be able to adopt new emerging technologies to your business and your brands. Now, it's very easy to invite a consultant who will put you through the concept of artificial intelligence, for example, and how it will help your businesses. So a successful transformation requires a cultural shift. Encourage your team to adopt new technologies and foster a culture of innovation. Also, data-driven decision-making, which we've already talked about, and then continuous learning. We need to keep evolving. One of the key things that have helped us over the past 5 years is that we've evolved. We take evolution as part of our day-to-day. We evolve and we learn along the way. So we encourage you and recommend that you keep evolving, keep learning new trends, and ensure that your team also recognizes this and receives the appropriate support they need to be able to grow. So in conclusion, I would like to say that GeekHub is dedicated to empowering businesses on their digital transformation journey. We are more than a technological partner. We are your trusted ally in achieving growth and success. We're committed to providing guidance, support, and innovation solutions that drive your business forward in the digital age. So this comes to the end of our seminar today, and I want to thank everyone for joining us here today. It's been a very long, insightful journey this afternoon, and I'm very sure that we all have, learned one or two things. To our speakers, I want to say thank you very much for your time. We know that time is very precious as you are experts, subject matter experts in your field, and you have a lot of activities that you may want to have had today, but you took out time to be here. So I want to appreciate you. I want to thank you very much for being part of this seminar today. And for all our audience and all who have joined in, I want to say thank you for taking our time to be part of this seminar. And as we celebrate our 5 years anniversary, we want to say a big thank you to all our clients and customers that have helped and been part of this journey of ours, because without you, we would not be able to embrace challenges and turn them into opportunities. So thank you very much. And we wish you well, and we wish all of you growth and success in all your endeavors, both now and in the future. And we are always here to be your reliable IT partner, being with you on this journey and ensuring that you achieve the most out of your business, enterprise, and endeavors. Thank you very much once again, and I want to wish you a wonderful weekend ahead. And stay tuned to our pages on Instagram and our website, www.geekupng.com.ng, our Instagram handle, GeekHubNG, and all our platforms, because we have more exciting activities for marking this our 5th anniversary. We would be posting new giveaways, content, insightful details to all of you. So we enjoin you to follow us on all our social media platforms, and also ensure that if there are any inquiries or questions, you can also reach out to us. Thank you once again. Thank you very much. And I think we could turn off our mics so we can hear a word from you and to say our bye-byes. Thank you very much, everyone, for being here, and God bless you.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Ayobami.
I think it has been an insightful and impactful conversation. So thank you for the opportunity and for listening to everyone. Quite a number of informative ideas being shared both on the social media, marketing, HR. It was just impactful, I think, conversations. And thank you for everyone that's also patiently listening today. Appreciate everyone. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Okay, so with this, the seminar comes to an end. I want to wish everybody success and thank you very much. Please stay tuned for all activities. I'll be sharing our handles right now so we can follow and see everything that happens on our page. Please go to the chat session and see that you have our handle and ensure that you follow us. I will be glad to follow back. And also our website, www.geekhub.com.ng is our website. So you can also follow on our activities. Thank you very much and God bless.